Good morning, Academy 55 members and everybody else who's watching. My name is David Kahn and I'm here on Thursday, the 14th of August. It's 5 to 8 in the morning, looking at the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame, following the Academy 55 indicators and signals. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And our intention, all trades are for educational purposes only. But we're going to have a look and see if there are any trades around today. First thing we do, we are going to take our indicators off on the 1 minute time frame. And I'm going to go on to the daily chart at the moment, just to see the bigger picture, what we think could be happening as far as the trend is concerned. And there are no immediate imbalances to be seen on the daily. Well, there is one down here, but that's so far away. I'm not going to bother marking that one up. But there is a general trend at the moment. Going up from that high, a lower high, and a lower high. So is price going to get up to there and bounce off again? Possible. That is possible, of course. But these are on the daily, as you understand. So we'll go down to the 4 hourly now, and there is that. I think I'm on the 4 hourly now. And I've spotted a wee bit of imbalance. That's imbalance there is now being filled. But we've got imbalance here. Just a tiny bit of imbalance. And I'm going to get the right box. It's a buy FVG, fair value gap, same thing. Fair value gap is equals imbalance. And as you can see, is price going down to tap into this imbalance? And we got imbalances down here as well. So we got and a really big imbalance created on Friday, the 1st of August. So is price meaning to go and equalize itself by doing all that? It will in time, but when remains to be seen. So we'll put it onto the line chart. And when I change the candles into lines, I'm looking for these peaks here. And if there's more than 2 peaks, I mark it up. Now, so for example, this is a very important one here, because we got 2 peaks there, look, and a peak there. So it's been resistance, resistance, and support there. And because of that, that's why that can. So that area there is obviously an important area for price to either bounce or break. We've got our trend line up there that we drew in earlier on. So we'll go down to the hourly, and there's that line. Still important. And we got 2 peaks here as well, look. So we'll draw that in. I don't go any lower than the hourly. We've got a peak there, look, and the peak there. So that's why that is there. So that area is quite important. If you notice, it's right near the key area as well. The one with 3 zeros on it. So price was important on that line. So it could be again. So we'll come off that and we'll go down to the 5 minute. And now we will mark up our zones, are on the 5 minute time frame. We've got a sell zone here, and we've got ourselves a buy zone here. But we had a buy zone here as well. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong line for that. Remove that one. Horizontal ray, that's what I want. There we go. But are there more buy orders down here waiting to be swallowed up? But in the meantime, we've got imbalance here. So let's quickly go to the minute time frame, put our indicators on. And this is where we are. So we're looking for a scenario similar. Sorry, I'm choosing the wrong tools. Maybe that's better. I'd like to give a minimum of 2.2 pips away, which is there. Not going to be that. That's probably going to be a lot more. But that's the scenario we're looking at for a buy. And if I was into the trade, then I would be looking at this area here with great interest. Will it bounce or break if we get that far? But we are on well, a course down at the minute. And it's just stalling to still come on down a little bit more. We don't know. In the meantime, we'll put our MT4 on. Put the lines on. Make sure you've got your risk to reward in purple on your trade assistant, your lock calc in purple, and you got that all important 1% risk. And this is where we are at the moment on the EUR USD. Just had a buy alert switch on and switch off very quickly. We've got imbalances being formed here, so we have to be aware of. But is price wanting to get back into this area of consolidation? And this area here is the key area. The psychological area where long-term traders and investors like to take trades in, take trades out. So will it bounce or break or have enough volume to get to the purple line and beyond? We don't know. But that's an area of interest to, if we were in a trade, to take note of. But at the moment, everything's red. We're waiting for the green volume ribbon, the green wave. That's where the stop loss will be there. So we're not there yet, and we might not be. It might just be stalling a bit and then coming on down again. But we're here ready and waiting in case. So I can make it a bit bigger. MT4 is rather cumbersome like this, so that's better. But we know our danger points or pinch points to look for. Got imbalance here, look. Got imbalance here. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Nice to see all our guests on YouTube, my YouTube channel watching. All trades are for educational purposes only. We're teaching my Academy 55 students, I guess we'll call them, to use the indicators correctly. Waiting for a green volume ribbon, a green trend line, a green wave with the all-important buy alert. And once they're all green, we put the stop loss on the nearest wave or trend line, whichever is closest to the entry. That's where the stop loss will be. So in this case, it'll be here where the wave is. Once it's turned green, and hopefully continue or for a 2% win. We go for 2%, but recognizing what is in the way. So if price stalls, for example, if you're like 1% or over, you may wish to take the trade. You never get broke taking a profit. But most of the time we take advantage of the trend and get our 2% that way. But this is where we are at the minute. It's getting on down. So I'm going to take it off MC4 and go back to TradingView, because we use TradingView because it's easier to manipulate for me. As you can see, we've got exactly the same indicators on TradingView as we have on the MC4. And this is what all the Academy 55 members get. And as a very important reminder, something is just important, but very rarely talked about. But this is important, everything. It's very important to realize when we think trading is riskier than other times. So for example, if you was caught in this area here, where you know there's lots of consolidation and low volume, would you want to be trading in this area here? Possibly not. It's best to wait for a breakout, which is we got here. And that's just as important because we have a very low monthly target to go for. You only need to trade once or twice a day. And because of that, we can afford to look out for these areas and think, no, I don't really want to trade this. This is your responsibility to do that. And think, do I really want to be caught trading in this scenario here? Or shall I wait for a better opportunity either on EUR USD or later on in the afternoon on US 100? And it's down to you to determine that scenario. And that's because we can afford to do that, because effectively you can get your monthly target by taking 5 trades. If you have 5 successful trades, 2% wins is 10%. That's my monthly target. Job done. So spread out the course of 21 trading days. As you can see, you can afford to have days where you don't trade at all. And that is the conundrum, really, because as new traders, you'll be wanting to get in there and get trading and all that. And I understand that. But at the same time, this is just as important as everything else is when not to trade. It's a little bit worse for me because I'm live training and trading with you guys. So therefore, psychologically, I'm trying to get trades in so I can show off the Academy 55 indicators. And sometimes I think, oh, this is a little bit more risky than normal. But because I'm here to do a job and show off the Academy 55 indicators and how successful they are, sometimes it tugs at me to take a trade where if I was left to my own devices, I go, no, I'll come back later on in the day. But because we got this time together, sometimes I feel more compelled to actually take a trade where it's a little bit more riskier than I would like. So I have to keep constantly reminding myself, and that we don't need to do that scenario because of our low monthly target. But also do realize there are people out there watching, and they get very frustrated by the fact that there's no trades on offer. But you can only take what the market gives you and recognize that. Like, for example, on Monday mornings and public holidays, the volume is very low generally, unless something major in the world is happening. So we negate that altogether and just give yourself a day off, because the more you wait for things to happen, the more frustrated you get. And the more frustrated you get, the more chances you take, generally. I'm not saying everybody, but generally that's the way your mind will work. We don't want to enter into that scenario. So we are here just waiting for this sell trend to diminish, or it would be nice if it got into the buy zone there. And sometimes when price stalls a long time, another zone might appear. So periodically check back on the 5-minute time frame. Like, for example, we know on the 5-minute, we at the purple line on the 5-minute. And this is where we know price likes to be on any time frame. Price is now consolidating along this area. We've got a sell bias though, because price is underneath the purple line. So it would be viewed that any sort of trade would be a pullback, a retrace. I'm going to go back on the onto the MT4 now. Like I said before, make sure you got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple, and that all important 1% on the trade assistant. This is a godsend, trade assistant, because it calculates automatically how much your 1% of whatever account size you've got. So you don't have to fiddle around and work out your lot size. And if you want to know anything about commissions, just go up to the top left-hand corner where it says EUR USD up here. You press that little arrow there. And you get these figures. That shows you what the commission is at the time. See how it came up, but now it's entering into yet more consolidation. We've got to, price has got to get up there at least to push that parabolic side down below. All these have got to go green. But because we're on the minute time frame, these things can happen relatively quickly, especially as now London is open. So I'm going to go off my MT4 again, back onto the trading view. And that's the scenario we're looking for. The volume ribbon's turned green now, so we've got a bit more of a buy volume going on, but that could be negated fairly quickly, as we've seen before. Are there a lot of buy orders down here waiting for price to come and take those buy orders before reacting off that and going back up again? Maybe, maybe not, don't know. Or are there more sell orders here that they're interested in? The Academy 55 indicator more or less keeps you fairly safe out of harm's way by waiting for the green, green, green. It's sort of a safety mechanism as to not get in too quick. But at the end of the day, as we all know, price will do what it's going to do. And we are well prepared to take a 1% loss because that's what we trade with, or 1%. No more than that. Like tomorrow, for example, I usually trade between the hours of 8 and 9 because it suits my lifestyle, and also, more importantly, this is the hour, well, 7 till 9 really, but between 7 and 9 when Europe opens and then London opens, London Exchange opens. This scenario here has more of a chance to change into this trending scenario, and that's what happens between these hours. Not every day though, but if it is going to change between 7 and 9 UK time in the morning, that's when we get a more of a trending scenario. So it's more conducive for the Academy 55 indicators and trading generally, but nothing's written in stone, as you can appreciate. Everything I say is kind of important, really. So also very important not to jump into any trades. Recognize these signs of consolidation, recognize scenarios that you think could be happening with price generally, and trade what you see, not what you think. So for, like I keep saying, we know this is all consolidation here, so you know it's going to be riskier trading in those conditions than maybe a breakout now. But now we've gone into consolidation again. Found so far this month, conditions for trading have been a bit tricky because I think I've seen consolidation a little bit more than normal. But if you think of it in the longer terms, even without all the problems in the world, i.e. tariffs from Trump and the Ukraine-Russia debacle and Gaza and Israeli and all that carry on, this time of year, August, is where people are on holidays, on vacation. And maybe some of the big investors, the big hitters, are on vacation. Maybe as simple as that. But you tend to find this scenario in August more than other times of the year, and Christmas, of course, Christmas as well. Because behind all these movements are real people deciding to invest on behalf of big companies, big whales, what we call. I mean, now I'd like to see this go all the way down there because we know that we're in a buy zone there. I'd like to see that scenario. But in the meantime, we'll play this.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yep. Thank you, Steve. Invaluable stuff indeed. Right. Oh, good. The scenario that I wanted to see. We are now officially in the buy zone, as indicated by that little line there. So we are got even more confidence to take the next buy, but we are on a deep sell, so you know it's all very much. Come on, there we go. Like I say, we've got that imbalance area. We'll price want to tap into that and get into this buy zone before carrying on up? Maybe. Or will it have a retrace? A buy alert will appear and then retrace and then come back down again? We'll have to wait and see. But all the time, or indeed we got this support and resistance, will it want to go and bounce off that or break into this imbalance? It will eventually, but during our time together, before we get a buy alert, it might do it before that, or we might get a buy alert and then it'll go up and then come back down again and then do that. All very much depends on what news is floating around today and different opinions of what the dollar is going to be doing, what the EUR is going to be doing. Let's have a look and see if we can. Dollar struggles as Fed rate cuts bets build. Bitcoin soars to record. Oh, look. Bitcoin. Wow. BTC USD $121,000, 662. That is highest has been Bitcoin. Anyway, back to our scenario. Right, so what we're going to do is, here's another thing. If there is a lot of buy orders here, we may see this scenario picking up orders as we go before it makes its move one way or the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the chat lines now. So if you're on YouTube or the Academy 55 in the room with me, you can please questions only about what we've seen here today. For all those on YouTube, we've got a recorded webinar that gives you a little bit more information, and I'll post that in there. You can go and watch that. But if you have any questions, please write them in there. But other than that, we wait for things to turn green, the buy alert, and all that good stuff. Let's have a look at take the indicators off. I'm going to go on the 5-minute time frame just to have a look and see what's going on there. We've got imbalances here on that candle there, which is good for us if they wish to go and fill these before going even deeper down. We've got a question. When a sell comes on, then the price goes up and down, consolidates, etc., etc. How long is that sell alert relevant for? Well, you want 2%, and the idea is to activate on the sell when you get all red, 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 and that's how long it's relevant for, when you get your 2%. You can't really come in, say, for example, down here, because you don't know how long that sell's going to be relevant for. You don't know. It's an unknown. So as soon as you get a sell and the conditions are right and you're happy with the trade, you get in, get your 2%, and that's how long it's relevant for. In hindsight, you think, well, I might I might have got a lot more than that if I stayed in, or I could get in a little bit later. But that's not the Academy 55 strategy or system, because you don't know how long that is going to work before it goes into consolidation here, picks up orders, and it could have shot up again. You don't know that because the indicators aren't telling you that. So get into the sell alert when you feel it's safe to do so, and the indicators are telling you to do so. Get your 2%, and you wait. And if you one trade a day is all you need, but if you want to trade it again later on, wait for another scenario, maybe a buy. And if the conditions are right to your expectations, another 2%. Don't be tempted to think, oh, this is going to be a deep sell, so we'll get in again, because we just don't know how deep this is going to go. Great question. Thank you. Now we're in a situation where we are just waiting. We'll wait for possibly 90%, 95, more than that of the time anyway. So just like an angler on the shores, waiting for the float to bob down and strike. Right, we're having a bit of a surge up again, as you can see. So we'll go back to our MT4. I'll actually take that line away now, because not to confuse you. Delete. Right, so we'll go wait for all these green volume ribbon, green trend line. The trend line is mixed in with the volume ribbon at the moment, but we've got to wait for all these to go green with a nice buy alert. And that is where price is now. That's where my stop loss will be, assuming that red wave turns to green, which may or may not be the case. Once again, make sure you've got your risk to reward in purple, showing 2 to 1. Your lot calc in purple, and I like to keep this little box in case I need to close all trades. And all important, 1%. You're risking 1%. No more than that. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Right, let's see what happens. Now, these are all going horizontal now. So let's see what happens. If anything. I know it was last week when Steve was trading with you. There's a few days where there was no trade. and that is absolutely fine. Because the number one rule, as I always say, is to not lose money. And you're not losing money. So there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Like I said before, you can only trade what the way that the scenario is willing to give you. And we never know. Every day is different. So where price is now, that's where I want to put my stop loss. In anticipation, these all got to turn green, and we got to have that all-important buy alert as well. Volume just started to turn green. But the way its price is behaving as well is very nervy and gingery, and I mean, nothing great happening at the moment. But again, a big whale might come in and decide to invest a lot of money one way or the other and then make the markets move. We don't know that. We're just following the fingerprints of what they are doing. See this imbalance here? It tapped into that imbalance there, which we see a lot of times. It taps into the imbalance and then shies away again. And also a scenario is we know there are orders down here, sell orders or buy orders, and they make their money by collecting these. If there's not a lot of volume, if there's no urgency to move the euro against the dollar one way or the other, they'll, when I say they, the banks, they know how much is tied up here. They'll take these orders because the stop loss is an order. They'll take these orders and say, thank you very much, the equity for themselves. When they've had enough of that, then they will, hopefully in our scenario, carry her up. But if there's a greater urgency to go down, they will go down. But so far this month, it's been a very trying to get my monthly target. We're halfway in the month, and it's not been playing ball. Still in a little bit of profit, which is the main thing. But it's sometimes when I go for my monthly target, sometimes I'm more or less finished by now. Another day, other months, like this month, I'm still wanted to go a lot more to finish my monthly target, but that's just the way it goes. It is what it is. You learn to accept, to take what the market is prepared to give you. No point beating yourself up about it. And indeed we are looking at more consolidation. And so go with there. All the time the purple EMA 462 is heading on down. We are underneath there, so we've got a sell buy going on anyway. We've tapped into the buy zone. But the way the market is, it's looking, I mean, we've got indecision candles, more indecision candles than not. And this is on the minute time frame, you know, so nothing's decisive at the moment. But all of a sudden, it could happen like that, and but they will be decisive. We're here ready to take advantage of that if it happens, or when it happens. Okay, so not a lot happening. So what I was going to do is just wait a little bit more. Again, it's tapped into the buy zone, taking yet more orders. And if there's enough, they're taking enough buy orders there, then the volume will be enough to take it for a buy perhaps. But if not, we'll have more of the same. And then by doing that, they'll encourage maybe retail traders to put in more buy orders down there, and they'll come down and take them again. Got another 12 minutes together. If I if we get a scenario where there is a buy, I will just put it on mute and let it play out one way or the other if we get to that situation after 9 o'clock. If not, well, we'll say goodbye. And I personally will maybe if my lifestyle allows, I'll come back later on this afternoon and have a look at the US 100 or the NAS 100 after 2:30 when the volume will increase and see what's around then. But if not, no problem. You haven't lost any money. It's the most important thing. The Academy 55 strategy is designed for newbies and intermediates alike, making it really, really easy. You look for a red wave, red trend, red seller, red trend, red wave, parallels are above, down we go. And also for a buy, like I say, you wouldn't be trading these because you recognize you're in consolidation, but you're looking for a green buy alert, green trend, green volume, green wave, and up we go. And with our using this since February 2024, more than 18 months now, we've made a steady profit, a healthy profit every month. By this strategy of only going after a small monthly target and only taking 1 or 2 trades a day, waiting for the odds to be more in your favor by the addition of these zones on the 5-minute time frame. It's looking more increasingly likely that we ain't going to get a lot of joy today, but it is what it is. And it's a good day because we haven't lost any money. We go on the take the indicators off, for example. Will it want to bounce or break off this line here? Oh, no. There we go. That's why the zones didn't appear, because I was on the 10-minute instead of the 5-minute. Or are there more orders here than there are here? Wishing to go down and take these buy orders, maybe? Will it bounce or break off there? Will it tap into the imbalance and then shoot back up again? The volume has gone right out of it now. And even on the minute time frame, like I said before, we've got lots of indecision candles. It's not really giving anyone a good feeling, but there we go. I do encourage people to only look at the screen for an hour, because then you start to get lackadaisical. Your focus isn't as sharp as it was. Because we're on the minute, you do need to have when the time arrives for you to place a trade, you need to focus and wait for green, green, green. And the idea is to, although we keep a minimum of 2.2 pips away, you need to keep as close to the entry as possible, because obviously that brings the your 2% profit target down. I could say that it looks like they're busy taking orders, buy and sell orders here, more sell orders than anything. Longer term ones, different strategy ones, who knows? Your latest news, the dollar struggles. Well, in this scenario, that's dollar's doing okay because the euro's going down. which means the dollar's fighting back a bit. See, since midnight, we've been slowly declining, and usually it's delaying tactics, but this is the Asian, what we call the Asian session, and usually if the Asian session is going down, London session comes along and will go up. But they're taking their time to get to that scenario. And we could be coming up to these areas here to fill that in. So I think there will be a decent buy on our hands, but just not in our, it might happen between 9 and 10. It could even happen between 10 and 11. We don't know. It might even happen in the New York session, and they're using the London session just to take these orders because there's no high impact news on the horizon. So there might not be nothing that needs to be done right away. The size of these candles, just no volume whatsoever at the moment. I mean, once 9 o'clock happens, sometimes on the hour, things happen. But like I say, nothing's written in stone. We just follow the fingerprints of what's going on. So I'll possibly come back later on myself if my what happened there? That's rebooting. Never seen that before. And it's back. Why did it do that? I don't know. Never seen that happen before. But the important thing is it's back. So with that, guys, I shall say have a great day. Thanks very much for being on today. Really good training session because we didn't lose any money. And that's the most important thing. So with that, got something in chat. Raj is just saying cheers. Yeah, thank you very much for being here, Raj. Let's have a quick look on YouTube if there's any questions. No, not that I can see. Anyway, so thanks very much for being here today and have a great day and a great rest of the week. And I might be back later on, not saying anything. I don't know because I've got stuff to do today, as everybody does. So thanks very much and speak to you soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.